the attendees of the program today. We have the title Translating Circular Economy, Translating Circular Economy Strategy into Revenues. Yeah, today, 13th of November at 10 p.m. We are going to have this session for 1 hour until 11 a.m. Malaysia time. So welcome. I would like to welcome everyone to this program. And this program is organized by Sustainability Unit of Malaysia Productivity Corporation, supported by the Machinery and Equipment Productivity Nexus, and also University of Malaya. So I would like to welcome again all attendees from Malaysia and outside Malaysia to our program today. So I would like to introduce our speaker, our esteemed speaker, which is Prof. Dr. Suhaiza Hanim. So let me read a brief introduction to Prof. Suhaiza. Dr. Suhaiza Hanim is a professor of supply chain, University of Malaya, in the Faculty of Business and Accountancy. She received her master's and PhD in management science from Lancaster University in England. And in terms of professional qualification, she used to hold a position as the Vice President for the Society of Logisticians Malaysia. Moreover, she also have a certified production and inventory management. So I won't read the rest of the CV, very long, but I believe that she is the right person to speak today. So without further ado, Prof. Suhaiza, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ida, as a Madam of Chairman today. Okay, hi, welcome to my sharing session on the topic of the Translating Circular Economy Strategy into Revenues. Okay, on behalf of MPC, again, thank you so much for joining me on this 14th webinar on the topic of circular economy. Yeah, as mentioned, yeah, I'm Prof. Suhaiza from University of Malaya. In fact, my research interest currently is more focused on the circular economy. Actually, I started with the green supply chain, then moved to the sustainable supply chain, then followed by the closed loop supply chain, even reverse logistics. So towards the end, I feel like, you know, something that now international academics, right, they started to see this circular economy as another potential research topic. Yeah. Okay, for the table of contents for today, what I'm going to talk about today's topic. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. Okay, I'm divided into the sessions into 5 different topic. Yeah. First, we'll be talking roughly about what actually is circular economy. I think most of the attendees actually have actually aware the definitions or the key point of this circular economy. Then I move forward to the what opportunities exist in the circular economy and what capabilities are required to go about doing it. Yeah. And along the way, we know that actually innovations, technologies are very important for any new concepts. Again, we cannot deny circular economy required to have technologies. Yeah. And last but not least, I'll be trying to guide, you know, the industries on how actually the journey to do this transformation. Yeah. Okay, next. Next, please. Yeah. Okay. Why actually this circular economy is relevant? It is not only talking about the Malaysian context. Now started already throughout the world. Yeah. In fact, we have seen some countries already championed in the circular economy. So what is it? Why is it so relevant? Now we are trying to help the industries to generate more income, more revenue from the waste. You know, people have considered waste, you know, before as something like, you know, cannot be used, cannot be done anything. But actually, it is something that can be transformed to generate more revenue to the industry. So circular economy is about offering the companies the opportunity to turn the inefficiencies in the linear supply chain or linear value chains into the circular business value. I would see this something like that you are trying to venture into new things actually in your current system of business. Yeah, identify back, go back to your current structure of your business, identify where are those inefficiencies and how those can be overcome to transform it to become more efficient to go and achieve this circular business value objective. Yeah. So if you can see the diagram, on the left, along of your processes, surely there will be some kind of waste actually will be there in the system. So how do you go about, trying to utilize all these waste to make it more profitable to your own businesses? Yeah. So this is quite something interesting that I share with you, the diagram or the graphic. Yeah. Again, that people are now talking how we actually adapted ourselves to this new agenda on the circular economy. Okay, next. Yeah, so why I say so about these inefficiencies? Yeah, so in the first place, what does it mean by inefficiencies? Something that you are not productive, something actually can be what is not comes to your objective of the businesses. Yeah, so what we can see here, along of your processes, we started with product design until it comes to the hand of the customer. Everywhere we can identify where are the gaps of these, what we call as inefficiencies, right? And these are considered as waste to your company. So now we have to transform that to become as part of your revenue strategy. And do not to forget, yeah, along of your process, you do not omit your end customers. Do not let your end customers outside your system. They have to bring it to be in your system, because their mind, their needs, their interests need to be all over the place of your processes. The design, customers might need to look at different design of your product, yeah, or materials. People are looking for the sustainable materials, for example. Even the equipment, the machines that you are using, perhaps people are more looking at the sustainable kind of machines, yeah. And we as businesses, right, always we found that some our facilities, some of our equipments are not fully utilized, and it actually is a waste to the company, and we are efficient enough to make it more productive by using that particular machine or equipments. Yeah. And then the marketing people doing the sales and everything, and product use, how much actually, how long actually that product can be used by the customer. Once the services finish or ends, so what will happen? So people just throw the things to be as a waste disposal. So now we have to take the challenge how those are can be turned out to be as the part of revenue coming back to your businesses to do some kind of transform, yeah, to those ways that we have identified. Okay, next, yeah, next. Okay, currently, people are always talking, what motivates company or what motivates businesses to go for the circular economy. So coming back to what we have said, the customer mind has to be there. So all the businesses, they have to be more focused on customers are the king, yeah, in our business context, yeah. So adoption of these circular economy models among SMEs in Malaysia in particular, it is quite limited. So we have to go back to see, what are those actually could be drivers, yeah, for any of businesses in Malaysia can take a step forward to take this challenge to adapt of this new concept on the circular economy. Yeah, we can see here the started from the customer centricity. So again, do not just take it lightly. Yeah, the importance of customers to be in your system, because we want to be sure that what we are delivering, what we are producing, what we are proposing, the values must be right in the eye of the customers. Yeah, but that's not enough. We need to get another enabler, which could be technology, which could be the innovations. Cannot run away from this think tank now. Is innovation, right? Now we are going for IR 4.0. Are we sufficient? Are we capable enough, yeah, in taking this opportunity to help us to move towards the circular economy? But I would say that the last here is on the sustainability, yeah, is the right efficiency, right purpose. Okay, some people might be argue which one would be the first one, might be the first focus. Are we going for sustainability first, or are we going for the circular economy first? And you can see they can be like chicken and egg. People can say, we're achieving the circular economy, indirectly we are achieving the sustainability, right? Element of doing all this modeling on this circular economy actually is part of parcel coming from the sustainability initiatives. Yeah. So again, by having these three main drivers, that I would say that people might be easier to understand further how we can embark to this journey successfully. This model actually been adapted from the Innovation Fund Citra from Finland. They have been using this model for their own companies, and I find it is very successful. They have actually shared with us all the evidences, the success stories from the companies actually who have actually adapted this kind of model. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, now first point, talking about customers. Yeah. Okay, better customer values can be delivered through offering outcome instead of selling the product. So we go back to our businesses, input, production, and output. We are producing the output, right? We are selling the output. The products can be the output. The services can be the outputs. But what is the outcome, the actual outcome from that outputs? Yeah, so the mentality of the businesses, we actually not only producing the output, but we are offering the outcomes. The outcome is the service that our customers are enjoying. Yeah, so what we are proposing to customers must be there. Not to say that we are proposing A, but our product outcomes is giving B to the customers. This is not right. Yeah, in the business world. I'm taking this example for the Proton Saga. Yeah, Proton. Yeah, Proton. Lately, actually, we know that Proton has come up with a new product, X70, X50, right? And then people are excited about all these new product, the new features of the Proton car. Okay, traditionally or previously, what Proton did actually is to only selling the products, selling the cars. But after Proton now JV with another partners, right? They come up with the innovation, they come up with the technology, which now been abandoned into the new product, which now customers are looking, something that I can find in our new product, Proton, got all these kind of features, which I would say that, among all these technologies, like latest technologies of the car industry that we have in our X70 car Proton. So again, yeah, not to say that Proton is selling the product anymore. Now, Proton is selling the outcomes from that product that they are selling. Customers are enjoying, customers are happy. That's the thing that actually we are talking about circular economy. Yeah, customers are always there. Customers will be the first point that actually we have to tackle. Yeah. Okay, next.
Okay, Professor Haiza, I think customers themselves would like to involve actually in the supply chain, yeah, in terms of contributing to the green economy.
Because of that, that's why in our process we have to bring them into our process. Yeah. Let them know actually what we are doing. Let them feel in the process itself is already there. What I need, what I require from the product that I will be enjoying later when I bought your product. Yeah, the outcomes must be translated well by the businesses. Yeah. Okay. Looking at that,
perhaps I would like to give some suggestions to the attendees. If they want to put any question, you can always do it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand using the icon, or perhaps you can use the question box. Yeah. So from time to time, I'll be seeing the box. If you have any question, then I'll post to the speaker. Thank you. Over to you, Prof. Saiza.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ida. Okay, this diagram is looking at the, it is simplified the whole scenario that we are currently faced. Yeah, is about the gaps that we have actually in our supply. Overpopulation and growing demand for goods actually resulted the increased volume of waste, air, water, soil pollution everywhere. You can see now in Selangor itself, we do have that kind of problems, right? We do have water pollution, right? And because of that, we have actually having problems in terms of water supply, yeah, because of that pollution things, because why? Current industrial now actually in which they're getting like more shortcut way, not to have the waste in the company, but to let it go. But away again, how actually that can be done, how actually that's supposedly to be done. Yeah, so has to be done in correct way and proper way. To take care of the environment, to take care of the safety, to take care of the health of the society as a whole. Yeah. Okay. So the demand for the product is increasing. Yeah. Whereas the supply, the availability of the supply of the materials actually is going down. And because of that, supply and demand cannot be matched, then we have the gaps here. And that actually is the motive why now we have to transform from our linear value chain into the circular value chain. Make it as a closed loop, that whatever that you have produced, received by the customers, then can be returned back to the company to be redo, reuse, or remanufactured. Yeah. Then again, save it will be like a way how actually you save your materials, right? Okay, new consumption and production pattern is needed, right? Both parties, customers as well as the businesses, yeah, they have to change the pattern of their doing a business and come up with the demand of the products, yeah. So because of this gap, then giving pressure to regulatory, yeah, the agencies, right, how they're coming up with the with the legal aspects of not to comply with this environment issues and so on, everything, right? So I would say that now we do have this circular economy roadmap, yeah, for the plastics industry. That actually is one step actually our government has done to save for the from the waste of the plastic, yeah. So hopefully, you know, most of the SMEs, most of the companies are taking this as another opportunity and how to venture into this circular economy. And not to say about the investment, now banks, you know, banks, everything, they are offering the green financial, for example, to help the businesses to grow their business towards the in line of the sustainable perspective, yeah. And then businesses, you know, raise supplier requirements. Then again, these are not to let the customers in, but also sometimes you have to let your supplier be in your businesses. Early supplier involvement, perhaps, you know, that would be one of the ways actually along of your supply chain we can just get some common aims, you know, towards the end, that our product actually is meeting the customers' need or customers' requirements. Yeah. Okay. This will be one of the challenge of the company, how we go about to closing the gap, and the way how we can close it is by through the circular economy. Yeah. Next. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit about the circular economy. Why is it so important and relevant? So the next will be talking about the opportunities that we can have from the circular economy. Yeah, I would love to share with you. This actually been adapted from the again from Finland study. Yeah, most of the companies in Finland actually they have like few leading companies actually started to realize how this waste or the inefficiencies of the India's circle, India linear supply chain can be transformed or can be taken forward to do some kind of transformation. Yeah. For example, here for the unsustainable materials, yeah, Volvo they have actually started to use third recycled materials in their new trucks products, for example, right? And then from that product, actually, partly can be recycled up to 90%. So means to say from the design itself, from the material itself, they have started to realize we have to use something that materials that can be recycled. So once the customer has actually enjoyed the product, so once they don't want it anymore, then it can be back to the company to be recycled. Yeah, because from the beginning, the materials being used are those the recyclable materials. Yeah. Okay, underutilized capacity, for example. Okay, this is another efficiency that we can see, which people are not really optimize their equipment, their facilities, their resources. Then what actually this company has done, Caterpillar, yeah, they actually put it as a sharing facilities, yeah, facilitate the sharing platform, you know, with other partners, for example, or with other perhaps the businesses along the way, the same industry as them. Yeah, so this could be done rather than you just let it be without being utilized, without being using it. You just can share it with the other partners. Yeah. Okay, and then the third efficiency on the manufacturing itself, right? Premature product lives. Bosch, for example, they have actually started to remanufacturing the chains for high quality components to ensure their high friction stays in the loops, right? So this one of the action be done by Bosch, how actually overcome this kind of efficiencies. Okay, I would love to share all this because it's really in the been done by this Finnish study, yeah, from Finland, looking at those examples of leading company which we started to do some transformation from the inefficiencies, you know, what can be done later to generate more income to their businesses. Yeah. These are all mostly international companies, which I'm still trying to get one example from local context, yeah? But until now I couldn't find it because perhaps it's not been published in the internet. Yeah. Okay, next. Next. Okay, now how actually people are doing it? Yeah, how people are doing it? Why are these leading companies able to do all this transformation? What they have done actually to address all this efficiency in the linear value chain? Yeah, they can just concentrate on the 5 circular business models actually being proposed by Finland study. Yeah, they have actually identified 5 starting from the circular supply chain itself. Yeah, the supply chain itself has to be in the shape of circular, not anymore linear, right? So because linear, you can see is very straightforward. You have the upstream, you have the downstream, end up there, right? You have to make sure to create that closed loop. Yeah. So use renewable energy, bio-based or fully recyclable input material to replace toxic and single life cycle inputs. Yeah, and then perhaps they can start with the sharing location. No, sharing platform. It's not sharing location, sharing platform. Yeah, now we do have these sharing facilities, shared facilities. This could be one of the business model that we are trying to adapt in the circular economy. Yeah, increase usage rates through collaborative models of usage, access or ownership. So again, are we allowed that to be happen in our own businesses to be shared with other people? Yeah, now doing a business again, yeah, we are not doing it alone, we are not doing it in silo. It's now we are competing with our partners, right? So now we have to remember that one way you want to take advantage of this sharing platform, another day you have to treat them as your competitors. But we have to make it sure that actually there's a win-win solutions, yeah, between them. Yeah, and then perhaps the product life extension, yeah, extension of the life cycle through repair, maintenance, upgrading, resale and remanufacturing. But this actually is depending on the types of the product. Some products are not really able to be reused, redo or recycle. Yeah, those example that the life cycle is very long, 10 years already. Yeah, so once people are not using it anymore, is it able to be returned back to remanufacture, to reproduce? Then it will be very hard. Yeah, take example of iPhone. Right now we have the iPhone 11, iPhone 12, right? So those iPhone 2, iPhone 3, what will happen if you go and bring it back to the sellers, right? I want to repair my phone. Can it be done? Definitely cannot, because now it's obsolete already. Because why? We are now in the era of iPhone 12. We are not anymore in the iPhone 2. So we don't have any more spare part for that. So again, yeah, the life cycle is one of the main thing also to be considered in our circular economy. And then not to forget about recovery, recycling. I think now most of the Malaysian, I would say, SMEs, they have started the 3I, the 3R, yeah, recovering, recycling. This is the basic initiatives to the sustainability. But again, it's also considered as one of the business model in the circular economy. And last but not least, product as a service. Right? People are selling their product. Yeah, it is the output. Yeah, it is the output. But now that product can be also as part of service, because why? Customers are using it. Customers are enjoying it. You know, the performance of that product. That actually part of the services that actually you are introducing into your product. Yeah, offering of products or use with retention of product ownership, which increase in resources productivity along the whole of the life cycle. So these are the 5 main circular business models, whereby we can make it more specific and end up with another 11 sub models. Yeah, as we can see from the next slide. Yeah, the next slide. Okay.
There is a question from the attendees, Dr. Fauzia.
Yeah.
The question is, why SM is not convinced that circular economy is a profitable as the existing business model?
Okay, nonetheless, yeah, SMEs still face challenges in adopting this circular economy model. You know, we can see that one of the reasons is because why? The capabilities is one of the issues here. You know, it's not about circular economy, it is all kind of innovations we thought about, you know, SMEs. This is one of the big challenge for them, right? Or perhaps what we can do now is about time the government, MNC, MPC has to be a step forward to convince the SMEs, to convince the company how they can go about doing this circular economy. Because why? There is huge impact, positive impact towards these circular economy initiatives. So we have to change their mindset. We have to change their barriers. In fact, we have to upgrade their capabilities in doing it. Then what actually we have to do now is to show off all those success stories, what people have achieved from this circular economy, especially from those leading company that have started this circular economy way back, and they have actually quite successful in doing it. That can be as success stories that we can convince the SMEs, now it's about time for you guys to start to embark to this circular economy. It's proven that from this circular economy, there are so many impacts positive that this company can achieve. It's not only about businesses impact, the society impact, the national impact, the nation impact. So why we are not taking this as our opportunity? So let's take this challenge, step forward, be with the government, how we do venture into this new challenging, it is a new challenge for, in the business world. We are not only to achieve the benefit from the aspect of economy, but we are helping our environment, we are helping our society, for example, right? So this part of parcel, which actually the sustainable development agenda is all about. It's not about economy itself. So that's why the sustainable and also circular economy, they are quite connected. As I said, as a chicken and an egg, which they cannot be separated. You have to, if you can embark both, that will be very, very great. And I think nowadays, take example of the McDonald's, take example of this Tea Life. They have started using all those renewable straw and everything, right? Not anymore plastic. Perhaps they have actually received a very clear directions from the MESTEC, which have come up with the roadmap of this circular economy for the plastic industry. And we have to do the same thing for food industry, for wood industry, for palm oil industry, because all industries might have different attributes which need to have their own kind of specific roadmap which can help them to move forward to embark to this circular economy. So now coming back to this, from that 5 main business model, in fact, if we can make it more specific, what are those initiatives? There are another 11 sub business model that we can introduce, or perhaps I would say some of these have already been implemented by the company. For example, build to last, circular supplies, product as a service, performance as a service, return, recycle, upcycle, remanufacture, upgrade, repair, maintenance, resell, and share. So see, these are all 5 sub-business model which actually coming from the 5 main one. But our question now, to what extent our companies or our industries have embarked to these all initiatives? I think very popular on the recycle, remanufacture. We know they have started, but to what extent? And how actually our SMEs doing it? They have started it or not? So one of the responsibility that I'm now attached to MPC is doing on this study, looking at to how much actually people, industry have started embarking to all these circular economy initiatives. Okay, next. This the one actually would be need to be shared, need to be as a tool to provoke those SMEs why they need to go for this circular economy. Because why has been shown by all those leading companies, they have successfully transformed their company to make it to make more income, to make more profit, to make more revenue by engaging themselves to this circular economy model. So talking about this example of Wasila, they have achieved 48% reduction in production development expenses. Why? Because of why? Because they started to use this build to last initiative, right? Because every agenda, every initiative, they do have their own impact, different impact. So now we have to come back, ask ourselves. We can do some kind of analysis, scorecard, to say where are we in terms of all these initiatives. Because why? Every of these initiatives, they have their own, specifically their own impact to the towards the end. So what things we're trying to achieve? Yeah. So this has to be need to be well understood by the people, need to be well understood by the industry players. And I would say NPC has to be champion on this. They have to start. They have to start some kind of perhaps the tools or the checklist. How the SMEs can start with those initiatives that we have been mentioned today. Or perhaps Okay. Next one. Okay, this is the one actually. I put like a very big question mark because now I wonder myself how much actually our industries have actually ventured into these all initiatives. In a way, are they realize that actually these are all initiatives are belong to circular economy, can be translated into circular economy agenda. I'm afraid we have actually gone through this TQM before, right? Total quality management. That people have done part and parcel of these quality improvement activities in their organizations. They should be claimed that actually they are part of this TQM company. Same goes to this model on the circular economy. Once they do have this upgraded, they do have this repair and maintenance. Actually, it is part of these circular economy initiatives already. Yeah. So now how well they are doing it, to how much they are actually doing it, and are they planning to make it more comprehensive by integrating all these sub-models initiatives, then will be super, right? So now we have to know first what level of implementations of our industry actually in this all of these initiatives that we have been mentioned. So that will be my task that I'll be sharing with you with the industry in the next webinar. Once I have done with this research. Okay, next. Okay, now, so we have actually got some idea what are those 5 business model, also what are those 11 initiatives for the circular economy. But again, company need to ask themselves, do I capable doing it? Am I able to do it? Because why? Capability is something that drives toward that kind of agenda. If they're not competent, if they are not capable, then I don't think the idea will be successful. Yeah. So now, what are those capabilities are required for to go for this circular economy? Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, there are actually 9 capabilities which enable companies to transform their value chain to increase the circularity. Yeah, so I would say this is not only 9; it can be more. It's depending on the attributes of the product. It's depending on the process that actually in the company itself and which industry they are coming from. Yeah, perhaps the more complex product they are producing, perhaps they need to have more capabilities. But the primary one actually to go along with the security idea is we have here identified 9. Yeah, design solutions to deliver customer outcomes. That has to be from the beginning when you start to have the design idea. Yeah, as I said just now, it's not we are not producing output, we are producing the outcomes, right? The outcomes must be enjoyed by the end customer. So are we taking that to be in our design? Are we taking that to be in our system? So we have to get that capabilities, yeah. And then design products for circularity. We start to use all these renewable materials so that at the end, once people are not using anymore, it can be reproduced or it can be remanufactured to be as another product. Yeah, source recycle or recyclable material, for example, produce, remanufacture, and also recycle products. And then sell outcomes and life cycle services. Take back products at end of life. Are we capable of doing it? Yeah. Deploy technologies. Okay. One of the things that I always concerned about is on the technology. It will be superb for MNCs, but the SMEs, again, do they have this capability in terms of technology, right? Because we are now faced with so many types of technologies and innovations. Are they capable in doing it? Are they capable in implementing it, right? So not to say about physical technology, can be digital technology, or now we have the biological technology, right? So now they have to be aware those functions of all these technologies, yeah, and then orchestrate the ecosystem. We have to be sure that the ecosystem is there, supportive. If the ecosystem is not supportive, even our suppliers, our customers are not supportive, then again, the idea won't be materialized, yeah. And then transform the culture and steering. This will be the bottom line coming up to the top management, how they are transforming the circular culture need to be abandoned, you know, in their businesses. And perhaps this could be one of the barriers among all these SMEs, how they can go about doing this circular economy. Very tight, you know, the culture is among the people, among the management, or even among the equipments or machines that they've been using in the production. So now it's again, yeah, take this as a challenge, you know, and come back to the businesses and try to analyze what are those capabilities that we have and to what extent that we have it and how much we are required to get new kind of capabilities to suit with the circular economy agenda. Okay, next. Okay, this would be a template, you know, which been done by Finland companies. Yeah, how actually they are putting all these sub models, how they are putting the 5 circular models into their value chain processes, right? So it looks little bit, you know, complex, but again, it's very easy. Once you have mapping out your process, you're mapping out your value chain, then it will be easier to identify where are those inefficiencies in your system and how do we actually take the initiatives to overcome or to transform that inefficiencies to become more productive. Yeah. So along the way, what we have discussed just now, we have 5 business model, we have 11 sub business model. All those can be amended into along the way of the value chain. Yeah. So this actually been done by Finland companies. I think Malaysia also need to sort of like replicate, adapted, you know, the same model, test it in our context. Is it okay for us to go about doing it, you know, or some kind of modifications are required to suit with our own context, yeah, our environment in Malaysia, for example, yeah. And because of that, next please, yeah. Because of that, as I said, Mastech already have actually developed, yeah, this roadmap, one of the tools, yeah, to help the companies how to go about this circular economy. But again, I'm trying to identify, you know, whatever the industries actually have successfully doing it in Malaysia, yeah? The early movers within industry in Malaysia. Still, I'm trying to find out, you know, who are actually successful, right? So from my own preliminary observation, right? So I would say this among the 5, the 6 has actually have successfully actually step forward for the circular economy in Malaysia context. Yeah, McDonald's, T-Life, Philips Healthcare. Yeah, Philips Healthcare actually they are sharing facilities, shared facilities, you know, for the healthcare equipment. Yeah, and then FGV is related to the palm oil products, right? So they started to realize that, you know, along the way of their that product, you know, how can be extended to become as another product from the one kind of product. Yeah, recovery and recycling, as we know, actually Mastech really take initiative, yeah, to promote to provoke those industries that actually take a step forward for the circular economy to get some incentives. So I think that could be a good strategy by the government, yeah, to recognize those industries that step forward to get this challenge of the circular economy. Give them some kind of incentives, give them some kind of appreciations, right, from the effort that they're taking, because this is not compulsory, right? I was in Indonesia last couple of months, right, doing this project on sustainability. Comparing Malaysia and Indonesia, they have put it as compulsory, right? Those companies actually embark to this sustainability, they need to report, yeah, the progress, the activities, the impact, either in their annual report or their financial report. So I think if we can also do the same thing in Malaysia, you know, need to make it a little bit compulsory, put some kind of regulations there, or perhaps then we know, you know, how many Malaysians actually people already step forward to take this challenge of the circular economy. Yeah. Okay, Acer has actually introduced like Acer buyback program, right? Those actually related to PC industries, right? So perhaps those unused PC or laptops can be returned back and can be reproduced or remanufactured to be as another new product, for example. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, next, move to the topic on the technology. So as I said earlier, we cannot deny the importance of the technologies and innovation. Okay, starting, we can see from these charts, started with 1.0, we then moved to 2.0, and then we have 3.0, and then now we are 4.0, or perhaps tomorrow, don't have to wait next year, don't have to wait next month, or perhaps tomorrow we can have industry X.0. Yeah. So, but in our own context, where are we? Are we still first 1.0, or are we actually develop ourselves to be in the 2.0, or are we already in the 4.0? This is something that we have to look into, because why? As I said, technologies are very, very important, yeah, in the circular economy. It has to be concurrent, yeah, initiatives or the circular economy, as well the supports from the technology or innovations. Yeah.
Okay, Prof, there is
Yeah.
a question from our attendees, Mr. Murali Dipali. The question is, what are the technological challenges for the circular economy to be implemented actually, when we talk about in this slide?
That's a very good question. Okay, we are not yet to that slide. Okay, perhaps we can move to the next slide to show. Okay, these are among the technologies that we actually acknowledge at the moment. Yeah. Okay, I mean we can divide, or we can categorize those technology into different skills. Yeah, perhaps emerging, improving, maturity, or scale up. Yeah, and different skills here. We can see there are different types of technologies that we can embark to. Yeah. Okay, there are three different colors, right? For example, the blue color, green color, and the yellow color. And those different colors are presenting different types of technology. As I said, we can have technical technologies, we can have physical technologies, or we can have digital technologies. And now we are moving towards the biological technology. So where are we in Malaysia? Yeah. So now we have to mesh these technologies with our current business model. Or now, if we started to embark to the circular economy, what are those significant of these technologies to our circular economy business model? So it has to be meshed. So if we are doing circular supply chain, what are those needed? What are those technology needed? Right? So we need to well understood the needs, yeah, the requirements for every different types of the business model. Yeah. So I won't go detail on this. We can see, along the way, blockchain, IoT, robotics, big data. These are all the big tech now to need to be exposed, not only to MNCs, yeah, but SMEs as well. Yeah, SMEs. Because of that, government has actually in 2015 we do have this PPRN, Private Public Research Network, yeah, to let the SMEs to be educated, yeah, with the innovations, with the technology. Work together with the academia, work together with the industry, work together with the government, put in the some kind of concerted effort, yeah, to boost up the innovations in the production of the among our SMEs in Malaysia. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the one I think coming back to the question being asked just now. Okay, firm circular business model is enabled by different set of technologies. So yet this has to be proven in Malaysian context, and this actually been taken as example from the Finland companies. Yeah, different types of technologies might need to be in a certain different business model of circular economy. Right, but what are those? So we need to go deeper to study on this, in the Malaysian context. I would say now, okay, the focus that we are doing now is more towards the food industry. We are looking on the palm oil industry as well the rubber industry. So perhaps later in my next webinar, I can share with you guys, the findings that we have from this exercise that we will do with the industry, yeah, later on, to get the exact the appropriate technologies to be suited to the different types of the circular economy business model. Okay, next. Okay, But again, when we start to realize all this innovation, we start to realize all this new method of doing a business. While they found that the circular economy has created opportunities, right? So many huge impact, all the positive, but we cannot deny there are new risks as well, right? What are those risks? Environmental risks, digital risks. Even we have to go back to the basic one on the financial risk, right? Green financial, green fund. Is it being utilized by our SMEs? Or perhaps not. Because why? Because people still have the mindset that we are producing the product. You know, along the way, how to get the revenue from that product. We actually producing the outcomes, yeah, as part of the outcomes from the product that we are producing. So along the way, you know, when we thought about introducing the new concept to the businesses, so we cannot deny there could be some kind of risk that we have to face, yeah. Okay, what are those environmental risks? Yeah, I would say uncertainty of impact. We don't even know the impact. Like biotechnological. Yeah, it sounds so catchy, but what could be the impact to my business later if I use this kind of technology? Yeah, harmful production, recycling challenges, additional consumption and waste. So this is part of the risk actually that people have to think about. You know, step forward to this new agenda and what would be the impact as a whole to my business later. So I would like to take attention of this. We can come up with the risk scorecard, how to mitigate the risk. Yeah, so that could be one of the solutions. You know, if you're afraid to venture into this as to this new circular economy, perhaps we can come up with the scorecard to see how could be the potential of the risk and how do we actually mitigate those risks once we have done it in our own setting, for example. Yeah. Okay, can we move to the next slide?
Okay,
Okay.
Prof. Before you start the next slide, I just would like to read the question by the attendees, Mr. Raslan Dahlan. So you mentioned about the case in Finland, which is best practice we can say in the world.
Yeah.
So the question is, what are the lessons learned from Finland so that we don't have to go through the same path? So maybe we can adopt the most efficient path for us. So what do you think about this?
Okay, that's a very good question, which I would say that the most challenging task in our country. Yeah, how do we actually take the example, the experience, what Finland has done to be adapted, to be suited to our own context, right? I think not to go beyond actually what actually my topic is about today. That could be related to the barriers. Yeah, that could be the challenges actually is related to the barriers. Actually, how do we actually change the culture of our businesses, people, yeah, the industry, to go and step into this new agenda of this circular economy. So what we can do now is to study the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, or the threats from what actually Finland has achieved, yeah, among their SMEs, and come back to our own context to study where we can go about doing it based on those findings that we can have. At the moment, I would say that there are lots of best practice actually being introduced by Finland. Yeah? The 5 business model, actually the one that we have discussed, actually been taken by Finland business model that they have proposed, right? But what in the setting of Malaysia, we not even know to what extent actually our people have done it. You know, our industry has actually embarked to these 5 business model that I have recommended. So that's why to start off with the some kind of preliminary study, we need to study on that, at least to get some indicators. Are we there or not? Are we already started or not? To what extent we have started? Right, so these are all the questions that actually I'll be shared with you guys in the next of my webinar, provided that actually I can get solid response from the industry. Yeah, I would love to share because in fact MPC also cannot they don't have the profiling the companies in Malaysia, right? How much they have done it and everything. So then that could be something that from the Finland best practice. Then we come back to our own setting, see how actually it been done, you know, then it can be shared, you know, along the way, come up with the framework or roadmap to help our own industry, to help our own SMEs to go about doing it, same as what Finland has achieved. That's one of the responsibility of being a researcher in MPC at the moment. Yeah, I'll do that, inshallah. Yeah. Okay, next. In the next slide, yeah, this last section is on how actually we try to help the SMEs. We try to help the industries to transform, yeah, themselves from the linear to become as circular. Sounds so easy, yeah. Just make it your production to be in the closed loop, but again, has to be more than that. It is not in a way that it can be done in one day. Yeah? Has to be adapted well to the business or in the company. Yeah. So I would say there are two key elements here. Yeah, the envision and the plan. Once you have done that, that will be good enough for you to start with the delivery and adaptation. Yeah. So these are the key points, the key elements on how the SMEs can step forward to go and take this challenge for the CE agenda. Start with some kind of vision and plan what you want to do. Once you have that already in place in the business, your business model, then you can start to deliver and adapt it, right? I think at the moment with agencies are now try to be supportive, try to come up with the regulations, try to come up with so many kind of incentives. I think SMEs need to take this as part of their opportunities, yeah, to venture into this new model. Yeah. Okay, next, okay, to go deeper on this vision and also the plan, right? So how we can go about, how the companies can do this, yeah? So, well, first they need to answer the question of why. Define why we need to have this circular economy in our company. I think that could be the biggest question. Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do this? Is it necessary for me? Now we are moving towards the globalization. We are moving towards the environmental kind of agenda, right? So if they are not taking this as part of their new vision or mission, then they will be left behind. Yeah, they'll be left behind. Yep. So once you have defined clearly the vision for the circular, then start to screen those opportunities, because why? We want to match what we have with all these surrounding, yeah. So screen through all these opportunities and size value. Therefore, they need to have some kind of platform, yeah, to be as a template for them to refer to. So MPC is one of the agency now, is very active, very progressive, to take forward to help these industries, you know, how they can start with, you know, by introducing some tools or checklists for them, yeah, to start with the circular economy, yeah. And then next stage is like to assess the capabilities level. Is there any gaps, right? The required one and the available one, where are they? So again, you can do some scorecard on this, see how you measure your capabilities and everything, and try to overcome all these gaps or lacking parts, yeah. And then not to forget, as I said, is about technology. Again, you also can do some assessment on that, do some checklist, yeah, do the scorecard, and then see how you go about it, you know, to suit with all the models that you have decided, and design the roadmap. Not the national roadmap, but the individual business roadmap. Because why? You're the one created your value chain. You are the one created your processes. You are the one created the system in your business. So you should know well, actually, by understanding the whole mapping of your processes, identify the inefficiencies, and to convert or to transform those inefficiencies to become as part of the business revenue. Yeah. So these are the 5 steps to move forward by using the coming up the vision and also the plan, how you go about doing the circular economy. And then once you have done this, is a part of next stage will be on the implementation. How you deliver that, how do you adapt to the new business model. This again very challenging, because why? You need to suit your adapt to your own culture, adapt with your own system, adapt with your own environment in business and everything, right? So to move forward from the traditional business model to the new one, then you need to strategize properly, you know, how you go about doing it. Yeah. So next, do not to forget, yeah, Next slide, please. Therefore, first of all, you know, the challenges, the barriers, the hinders part need to be tackled first, need to be solved first, right? What are those actually prevent you not to embark to this circular economy, internally and externally, right? Either your own culture, organizations, or even your supply chain ecosystem supporting, as well the financial. It can be more than this, it can be a lot. The government supports, the ecosystem itself, the co-creation of the product and everything so on. It can be part of these barriers, but the primary one that you need to be put consideration first and then you start to embark to this circular economy is the three main barriers, which are the culture, ecosystem related, as well the financial. Because why? You need to invest to get the sustainable materials, the degradable materials. Some kind of investment need to be done, right? So these are the challenges that actually need to be more focused by the company, and what are those solutions to tackle those barriers also be stated here. So perhaps can be referred by the businesses, yeah, what they can do, what they can step forward, what can be done in their own business context, yeah. Okay, last but not least, the last slide. Yeah, this is actually how you, yeah.
Proceed, Prof. Because we have two more questions, so please finish.
Let me finish the last slide to recap the whole of 5 sections that we have been discussed just now, right? And to put in summary, you know, what can firm do to succeed in the circular economy? First, vision and plan. You need to set your circular design, identify the efficiencies, choose the circular model, work in teams, yeah, and start small scale and collaborate. Yeah, perhaps you have your partners, you have your even your competitors also. One way you can be as your part of your collaborations, right? And you have to track your progress. And last but not least, government has to recognize the initiatives. Government has to put some kind of appreciation, yeah, for those companies who already take the challenge to move forward by doing these circular economy initiatives, to motivate them, and can be success stories for others to follow in the next or future, right? So I think that's all my presentations today, right? The last slide for my presentation is okay. What was the question just now?
Okay, thank you, Prof. Suhaiza. So the question is from Cik Norani Abdullah. Can service company participate in the circular economy? How can they participate? Actually, perhaps a short answer for that.
That's a very good question, because talking about the output, it can be the product, it can be services, right? But the outcomes, actually, it is not based on the product. It can also outcome from the services that we have received, right? So now we are talking about to transform all the waste. You know, you cannot deny, even though you are in the service industry, you also face the issues of waste, the efficiencies in your system, right? So how do you transform that to become more efficient, to become more effective, to become more productive by using all these, perhaps the 11 sub business model that we have been discussed to go about doing the circular economy. Make sure that at the end, your end customers are enjoying the outcomes from the services, from the products that you have given to them. Right?
Okay, thank you. We have another 2 minutes. Last question, Prof. Yeah? This is from Dr. Sri Amiswara. How do you see the shifting from CSR, corporate social responsibility, to CSV, the creating shared values, can benefit us in this? Creating shared values, CSR to CSV.
Okay, CSR started I think a long time ago, that people realized that actually not only making profit, you know, in the business, we will need to consider outside the revenue, yeah, the dollar sign. That's why the idea of DCSR is came about, yeah, back to the society, back to the people, back to the community, you know, part of the company kind of initiatives, yeah, to help the communities. But then things evolve, right? So started with the CSR, then we have the Sustainable Development SDGs, right? And then this circulating. Actually, these are all having towards directions, helping the environment, helping the community, helping the society as well, getting more money, getting more profit. So bottom line is about the three bottom line that you're trying to achieve. But again, the implementation wise strategy might be in a bit different. CSR is on the nature that actually is more towards the how are you doing it for the sake of what part of your social responsibility, for example, right? But when you go for your circular economy, it is another reason, perhaps. Perhaps you might to see that along the way to generate income is not only from your sold product, but once people have used it, people have bought it, then again it can generate more income to your businesses if the innovations of the remanufacturing, redo or recycling things can be done properly in the organizations.
Okay, thank you very much,
hope...
Professor. Thank you very much, Professor Haiza. Very informative. And the attendees asking whether they can have the slides. I believe we are going to share the slides in the PDF format. And so please download it. And I would like to announce that for all of you, you would like to attend to this session again. We have another topic, eco-innovation as solution for sustainable consumption and production in the circular economy. You can see that on the screen, yeah? That will be on the 27th of November, Friday, 10 a.m. in the morning. So I hope that all of you can stay tuned. We are going to do the promotion again. So last words, I think we would like to thank the speaker, Professor Haiza, and also MPC. And we would like to also thank our sponsor in this case for having us today, and all of us benefit from this session. So attendees, thank you very much for your participation and your
questions. Thank you for joining the session. Hope to see you again in the next webinar, inshallah. Bye.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. and Dr. Ida for your webinar today, and also goes to all the attendees that support our webinar. Thank you. See you on the 27th of November. Bye.
Okay. Bye.